Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NFT Guild Roundtable number 3. We're going to jump right into it and get the discussion going. We want to start off with a quick round of introductions again, since we got new people on the call, quite a bit of new people. We're going to do that 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, and make it pretty quick. Once you're done with your introduction, please pick someone else in the room to hand the mic to. I'll start. My name is Peter Wolcott, and I'm a freelance project manager and community organizer in the Catalyst community. Work with Done Collectively, Swarm, and NFT Guild, and some other projects. And that's me. Yeah, I'm going to pass it off to Remy now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Peter. I'm Remy, and I'm a project manager in IOHK. And I basically joined here to listen and review if we can support anyhow and to connect you with other IOHK members or other community members to support your efforts and try to be a part of this movement. And I'm today with Badrul, so that's everything from my side, and I'm passing the microphone to Badrul. Thank you.
Thanks, Remy. Yep, I'm Badrul. I'm a data strategist at IOG. I've been recently doing some analysis on NFT, so it was recommended I join this call. But that's pretty much all I know about this call, so it'd be helpful to have some sort of introduction. I'll pass it on to Anna-Marie and Reres.
Hi, we're New Mindflow, NFT project creators and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, we've been involved with the NFT Guild since January, and we're trying to advise this group with actual real NFT insights since we've been involved in the space since February of last year. And yeah, that's a short intro for us.
And we'll pick Tyler.
Hey guys, glad to be here. I'm Tyler. I'm working with Emergo right now. I'm the NFT business development lead over there, and that's it. I mean, as right now we're kind of working on FIBO, which is an NFT marketplace for artists, and we have some other kind of enterprise initiatives that we're working on as well within the NFT space. But I'll pass it to Tim now. Bruckman.
Thanks a lot, Tyler. I just see in the background your snowboarder. Big up. That was my youth. Yeah, I was a sponsored snowboarder because there's another. So that was my life years ago. I'm very old already. So I'm Tim from IAMX, and we develop everything what has verification and what is the fun part, and our very tough part is decentralized identity on a government level. And my background is telecommunication. I have a mobile phone company. We do mobile phone contracts here in Germany, and we are also doing this in Swiss and in Austria. And these customers from our carriers, many of you know Vodafone, Telefonica, or Freenet, or Deutsche Telekom. With the customers of these companies, we like to onboard to use a decentralized identity. And we are here in this call with my colleague Dennis, he will be the next one, to explain or to show you what we developed. And I choose Dennis.
Yes, of course. My name is Dennis Mittmann. I'm the CTO of IAMX. I am a specialist in high traffic websites and high availability and database clustering. But at IAMX, I'm doing decentralized identity and, of course, everything else. I'm passing on to Victor.
Thanks, Dennis. Hi, I'm Victor. I'm CTO in Proofspace. We do no-code SSI platform and integrate Atala Prism credentials currently to support them. And together with Argus NFT, we have a collaborative proposal to how to power the NFT with verifiable credentials and solve some issues that everybody knows. So yeah, thanks. And I will pass to Esteban.
Oh, hello. So I'm Esteban Garcia. I'm from Input Output, and as well I am also from Roots ID. in input output, well, I'm the product owner of the Tala Prism identity solution. And in Roots ID, well, I collaborate with the community on creating open source tools to help on the adoption of decentralized identity. So yeah, it's nice to be here, and let's see what the guys have, and let's hope to create a nice environment of collaboration between everyone and get a nice adoption for SSI technologies in all kind of different aspects, not only the usual credential stuff, but also explore other areas where SSI can be of importance. And yeah, that's it. I don't know who is missing in the list. I joined a little bit late. Patrick Tobler.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Patrick. I'm a founder of NFT Maker, now called NMaker. We recently rebranded, built NFT and blockchain infrastructure in a way. And together with IAMX, we wrote this CAP that we want to present today about attaching DIDs to NFTs. And we are also working on an example implementation. It's not finished yet, but we can show you some, at least the mock-up, so that you get the user flow in a way, and then hopefully it will be out very soon. And then Tim and Dennis can talk more about that as well. But before that, I think Chadi just joined. So Chadi, feel free to introduce yourself. You there? Okay, maybe not.
Hello, yes, this is Chadi. Just give me one moment, please.
Sounds like you're showering.
No, I was just getting the door. I had a delivery. So yes, hi, thank you for inviting me in. My name is Chadi, and I am one of the co-founders of Plutus Art, which is the new marketplace that we are coming up with for NFTs. And also I am an NFT creator myself. Any other things you would like to know? This is my first time here.
You need to pick someone, but it's very difficult for you because you don't know who else spoke.
Send is not, send is free.
Yep.
Then I pick him.
There you go.
Thanks for that. I'm Sent, stake pool operator and developer. I'm part of the NFT Guild, of the creators of the NFT Guild, and the most interesting part for me in this regard is to look at standards for verification of NFTs and to create a tool for verification of the NFTs in time. So thanks. I think Adam, go ahead, please.
Hi, my name's Adam. I am the creator of BuffyBot. I do CNFTCon, I'm on the Drip Drops team, and a couple of other things. So I've been around, here to listen mostly today because I got another meeting here in a few minutes, and see if we have any iteration over the last meeting that we had. But I'm excited for the prospects of what the script is putting together. Let's go to Cash.
Thanks, Adam. Cash here, co-founder of Benjamin's Club/Group and the CEO of Ada Anvil, multi-segmenting system. We're working on Cardano tools to help standardize and create an easier entry for, base level users. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited for the conversation. Thank you. I think I was the last person.
Anthony.
Oh, yeah, I'll introduce myself really quick. So it's Anthony. I'm a co-founder of Argus NFT, and we're building tools to enhance trust in the NFT space, native to Cardano. We're building a cross-chain NFT, like fake AI-powered fake detection protocol that we're incorporating on Cardano marketplaces and as an API. And we're just really interested in learning, what the next steps are in creating a more 360-degree solution for NFT project and verification and authentication.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a good round of introductions, everyone. We can jump towards our discussion topics today. We have on the agenda presentation from IAMX based off of some of our discussion in the last call. And yeah, who's taking lead on that?
I think Dennis will show it, and what Dennis and me forget, we have a nice NFT project, what have been the Chadi troops. So we are not just having SSI in our head. We also like a little bit design, and you see in the background of Dennis, there's a small Chadi troop. So Dennis, I think.
But okay, but I think Patrick is showing something, because we developed like together a standard for embedding or attaching DIDs to policy ID and have it as open as possible. Yeah, but I think basically we can start with what Patrick has prepared, and later we can deep dive if there's questions about the DID itself, about the identities, about the different layers in there. But basically we can see from the user perspective at first, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let me start then. So I just posted the link to the CIP. I actually put it up as a pull request earlier yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. I don't remember. Anyways, just to recap, I don't have a presentation or anything, but I will share my screen in a second. Or actually, let me do that right now. Makes sense, I guess. Okay. I hope you should be seeing it right now.
I make it a little bigger.
Start with the user flow, Patrick.
Yeah, 1 second. So I'm gonna start with the idea back, so that everyone is on the same level and gets what we're talking about. So the idea is, very practically, you have someone like Paris Hilton, some celebrity who wants to launch an NFT collection, right? How do you verify that this NFT collection is really made by Paris Hilton, not just some scammer or someone else? The current way to do that is essentially, you as the user, you go to Paris Hilton's Twitter account where you see, she tweeted about this NFT collection, so it's probably legit because I, as a user, trust her Twitter account. Same goes for Facebook and all her other social media accounts. And of course, if she's doing like an interview, you even trust that more. If she's going to Jimmy Kimmel and talking about NFT collections, then of course you're pretty sure that is really her NFT collection, right? So the problem there is though that this is a very manual process, and it's not very, you can't really automate it very well, and it's not very good just in general, because you have to scroll through Twitter, find the tweet where she's mentioning the NFT collection, or through Instagram or whatever. And because of that, what you want to be doing is actually want to create a DID, which is a decentralized identifier, and you want to attach all her different social media accounts and other information that she wants to share, like KYC or her bank account or whatever, maybe not her bank account, but something else. You attach all of that to that DID, and then you take that DID and you attach that DID to the NFT. And then everyone who's interacting with the NFT can literally just look up the DID and see, okay, this Twitter account, this Facebook account, this Instagram account, they're really 100% connected to this NFT collection. And then they can say, okay, the more data points I as a user have, in a way, the more I trust this collection. So for some, Twitter account is enough, but if you really want to trust something, if it's like a really high value thing and you're not sure, you might want to have more data points that you as a user can verify yourself, or you could even have systems built by the marketplaces that kind of verify them in an automatic way, and so on. But yeah, so you can maybe read through this, but before we do that, I'm gonna go to our Figma, which is just the mock-up of what we're currently building from a user perspective. So from an artist perspective, right? So let's say I'm an artist and I want to create a new NFT collection, and I use, an NFT maker and Maker Studio, but it could be anything else. It could be Anvil or any other minting tool in a way, and Buffybot, whatever. And then I want to create a DID, and I want to attach this DID to my NFT collection. So how do I do that? in the flow that we imagine, it's basically very simple. You go to NFT Maker, create your new collection, upload all your images and so on. And then you click on create DID, and then you are redirected to a separate page, which is hosted by one of the DID providers. And that type of DID provider could be IAMX. It could also be someone completely different. It could be NFT Maker, it could be BuffyBot, it could be, I don't know, the German government. There are many different DID providers out there, but of course IAMX is the one for this example. So you go to their website, you basically see this, what we have on the screen right now, and you connect all your different social accounts to this website in the first step. So here, the second part is very interesting. So you connect all your different social accounts via this regular OAuth login system that we have. They're all there, and it's proven that those are really your social accounts. And then IAMX, as a trusted DID provider, is creating your DID. And the DID is basically just a big, JSON document that you can that is signed by IAMX and signed by your different accounts, and then okay, this is really all connected. And then you have this big document, and then this big document can be stored wherever you want. So you could store it, I don't know, on a website, you could store it on some other random place, it doesn't really matter, but for the sake of decentralization and simplicity, I would say in our case, it's stored on IPFS. So it's stored on IPFS. IAMX in this case would send this IPFS link back to NFT Maker, back to NMaker Studio. We take this IPFS link and then put it inside of a token that is connected to the collection, to the same policy as the actual NFT collection, right? And because we have this wonderful royalty token, the first one with no name, the unnamed token, we just put it in there. And then marketplaces like JPEG Store or like all the other emerging marketplaces or Figurite or whatever, they can just look up this token, see, okay, look, there's a DID connected to this token. And in this DID, there's the information that like these five social accounts are directly connected to this collection. And then they can verifiably display them so that the users have the power of actually saying, okay, this information is enough for me to trust this collection, trust the authenticity of this collection. Yes, I hope you kind of understood like what I'm trying to do. We have this here that's not very beautiful, but yeah, I think what would make sense is that you take a look at the CIP quickly and skim through it. I'm sorry for not sending it to you earlier, but maybe I can go ahead and try to explain it in like a few simple terms, and then we can open the discussion.
Can I add something, Patrick?
So, yes.
Just,
Sure.
You saw it was just an example that we have Facebook, Twitter, and so on, the social media accounts. So what we have on the IAMX page is around 20 more possible selections, including a complete KYC, including IBAN, including SMS verification. So you can dox the people as hard as you like to have the project there. For us as collectors, we just get the complete picture and see what was verified. So does the artist made a complete KYC? That is for me as a collector. If he is completely naked in front of a second market, then he will not do a scam, because then you can catch him on a government level. Then you really are in the real world and can say, hey, guy, you're a scammer. These are my customers. You sold 5,000 NFTs, and so you can catch him. And this is for me something people have to think about and talk about, because we leave the decentralization, but we secure collectors of our collections, and we help the NFT secondary marketplaces that they really know who is the artist. And I think this is something crucial, that people are anxious to scam us if someone has the real KYC of them.
Yeah, and the KYC is of course not free, but the verifying social media accounts is free, but we have the option to update your identity. So you could add a KYC later. Let's say you start an NFT project and you only connect Twitter and Discord, and later on you get a big market value and you feel the need to add more information to your identity. It is possible to put the identity not on IPFS, but on IPNS, and then you can update it. Or you put it in another policy ID and leave this policy ID open, and you can then burn and mint the token again, or mint another one next to it. And the newest one is always the identity that is valid.
And you can choose the blockchain. So Patrick has just, I think, the drop down for what you had, FPFS, I think. But you can also choose Cardano to store Ethereum, Solana, you know, all the blockchains. But because we going multi-chain, but I think in this call, it's important that you know, okay, we can also store directly on Cardano. You can directly use other platforms to store it then, other ledgers.
Awesome.
Exactly. Cross-chain. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to get Adam's hand and suggest that you make your text bigger, Patrick, so people can see it better on the Zoom.
Oh, right. Sorry. I have a very big screen.
Yeah. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. So a couple of questions from an implementation standpoint, Patrick. Because we're registering this nameless token on a policy and signing with those keys, do we need policy and collection name, like that kind of tiered hierarchy in the metadata that goes onto the chain there? Is the only thing I'm thinking. Like maybe that's better as just a top level object, and name is the collection name, because there's no way to spoof the policy ID at this point. It's attached to the signing keys.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. I do think it makes sense to have the collection name in there, because if we use this system to verify some more information to the chain, then like we could just add collection name, and then it becomes very easy to just always automatically display collection names as well. But
oh yeah, no, yeah, I love that. That's kind of, I think, what we talked about a little bit last time is, you know, things that you would commonly repeat in every single token can now move to this higher level, and marketplaces could just use that one higher level piece of information. Like here's the collection name, here's the artist website, you know, especially if it's DID backed, you know, and things like that. Sounds great. And then question for the IAMX guys. Do you guys work with any US providers? I know you kind of keep hitting the European cell phone providers and stuff. Do you have partnerships with US providers at this point?
Yeah, we are we have one guy in our company who is, his company is called Hidden Champion. It's a very small company, but world leading in doing the invoicing for retail in telecommunication. So it's very complicated what he's doing, but he's in touch with 48 different telecommunication companies, spread over Africa, spread over US. And we have one investor who is just talking with us. He owns 150 telecom shops in Canada. So my part in IAMX is doing these partnerships. And yeah, we are in contact with 48 telecommunication companies. But first, we like to show that it's running in Germany, because we have this painful GDPR here, which is really, really, really tough. And if it's really nice going here, you know, that we onboard smoothly with sending the customers a letter, they can scan a QR code. Then we will have another big one. We will talk with people in India, because our UX team did build up Geo. So I'm very sure that we contact the Geos very, very soon. And yeah, we like to have a critical mass onboarded, that our decentralized identity is not empty. And with these people coming, we also have our partners on the marketplace side, like car rental service, Twitter, and also a lot of companies who doing contracts where you have to pay on a monthly basis, because then our tech is very useful for these companies, because usually for the bigger reoccurring payments, you need a KYC. And this is what we like to deliver, that you have it reusable.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I had one more question there, and then I'll pass the mic because I'm gonna have to run to my other meeting. But if I do a full KYC with IAMX, is it possible that I could only show like my name is actually Adam Dean, I'm a US citizen in the state of Arizona, but I don't have to like publicly put my home address into like the NFT collection? Would that kind of level of verification work through how you guys are setting it up?
Basically, it is like if you're going to do a KYC with IAMX, we have different KYC providers attached on the backside of the service. So, and we can define which attributes we want to check. So we can have an AI-driven KYC or a video operator-driven KYC, and we can define we want a full KYC, a full KYB, we want AML checks, or we can just say just check first name, last name, and country of residence. So in the matter, it's faster for you. We would need to set up a system where you choose before you do the KYC which attributes you want to verify, and then we choose a provider that is offering it, and yeah, you do the KYC process there, and when you're coming back, you just get a credential set of these attributes, and that's it. So that's possible to embed it in the way you described.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. I think that answers all of my questions, so I'll cede the floor.
Thanks, Adam. Chadi.
Hi there. Yeah, just piggybacking on Adam's question, just to make sure I understand this correctly, because, for example, I am already doxed on everything I do. What if I want my collection to say, yes, this belongs to Chadi, we have KYC'd it's Chadi, but what is the exact data you will put in the DID? Will it be just that my name, my address, my passport have been KYC'd, or will you actually include the full name, the passport number, etc.? Like, what's the exact information when we do full-on KYC that will be added into the DID itself?
So basically, the DID includes a payload, and this payload includes public information about all your social media accounts or your website or whatever. And if you're going to do a KYC, we have the option to put clear text data in the DID, or just the information that IAMX or someone else did a KYC, and this record is available there, but not publicly shown. Both is possible, but because our identity solution normally is for business purposes and not for NFTs. So this is a side project where we try to reuse as much as possible and to use the same standard to create DIDs and to create credential sets and this payload. But with the IAMX solution, nothing is shared anywhere, but especially for NFTs, there's a public part of information because you need to verify against this. And it makes sense to put social media accounts in there, and it could make sense to put your name in, but of course, we will never put like a passport number in there.
So that you know, Chadi, we work on a zero knowledge proof technology. That means IAMX never has the data. If you made a KYC, it is in your wallet in a nutshell. Yeah, it's not like that we have any databases for any storage. And that was also my introduction, you know. In Germany, you don't like to keep data because one lack of you is in the prison if you have customer data. It's really very complicated in Germany. You need to hire special people in your company. You have checkups every year or twice a year sometimes. So we are happy that the KYC is done with the telecommunication companies and we don't touch data. Yeah, we just give you the possibility as a client to manage your decentralized identity with your wallets. So we don't have data, and so I think it's very useful that a complete KYC is sitting with the secondary markets, because we need someone, if you have a fraud or scam, that I can say, Blake, there is a scam, you know, I lost a lot of money. I like to have the information who this is, and if I prove it in the right way, yeah, and there will be more people will pop up and say, Blake, I also need it, you know, my money is gone. I think it's very useful to have a complete KYC in a central station, which should be the secondary marketplace, because I think what we deliver is something that the secondary marketplaces protects us from being scammed.
But that does not refer to the NFT identity itself. The NFT identity itself only includes social media accounts and public information. And if you choose to optionally put your name or other data that are out of a KYC process, but not the complete process. So you can add more data if you want to. Everything is optional and chosen by the artist or the project. So like there's a menu later where you just select what you want to add to your identity.
Okay, thank you.
And
yeah, so one of the, okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
Who signed this identity token?
Basically, IAMX is signing it as an infrastructure provider, and there will be websites. At the moment, we are working on two. So one is with IAMX, one is with NFT Maker, but it is like a white label solution, or you can check out our GitHub later and set it up by yourself. You're creating a key for it, and this website has a key, and this website is acting as an issuer and signing, because this website is collecting the social media accounts. And the process is like this. You clone this GitHub project, then you're going to point a domain name on it and set up hosting, and then you set up all your application accounts with Twitter, Discord and stuff, and register single sign-on API keys there. And you put it in the configuration, and then this web page can check single sign-on OAuth 2 login attempts. And if you can verify all your social media accounts, then the website itself can use its key to issue a DID and sign it.
Right, and this is kind of verifiable credential that you create for the author of the collection, right?
Yeah, yes, but it's not verifiable credentials. We as in IAMX, we have a different solution. We have credentials that containers, and that is basically a collection of credentials.
Right, and then you link this identity token in the actual NFT token, right? You have a link to this.
No. You have an unnamed token that's sitting in the same policy ID, like the royalty token. But
there are two different things here. Yeah, so there are two different things that we're talking about. So IAMX is not signing the identity token. IAMX is signing the DID essentially.
Yes.
And the identity token is optional. So the identity token is one of the extensions. So the idea is every single collection does use this unnamed token, which it should be using for royalties already. And in this unnamed token, it can reference one DID, and that DID can either be directly on IPFS, could be on a website, but it could also be in this identity token. Now, that's the interesting part, because if it is in this identity token can be under a completely separate policy ID, which is created, by the creator of the collection. And then this identity token references the actual DID. And the cool thing here is that this identity token could be in a policy ID which is changeable, so it doesn't lock, and you can always change it. So the identity could be fluid, which often is a requirement in many countries for different things and identities, basically. So that is kind of the idea. And another good upside of having this identity as an option is that you can reuse it for multiple collections. So if you issue the identity token once and you reference it in multiple collections, you don't have to go through KYC and all that stuff 5 times, but instead you just have this one central point, basically.
Right, and
so the identity token is optional.
Yeah, but NFT itself will contain the social accounts and other information, which also may decide.
No, we did that and with the teletroops as a first tryout of attaching it, but as this unnamed token is valid for the whole policy ID, so there is no need to put redundant data in each NFT again and again. We just put it once in this token, and it is valid for all NFTs under the same policy ID, or for all NFTs where this identity token is valid for. So if there's
this
an array
payload
of,
is,
yeah, exactly.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I just wanted to say there's the information inside the identity token for which policy IDs it is valid. So you can update it, as Patrick said, and that's an array, and you can put as many policy IDs in there as you like, as long as you have control over the keys.
Either the identity token or the unnamed token. That's the thing. Like, yeah, so the payload basically is either an unnamed token or the identity token or the actual DID. So these are like the 3 different locations which are possible.
So the author have a way to update this unnamed token, right? With additional information or change it.
Yeah, so they don't have that. That's the thing. Like the way NFTs at the moment work on Cardano is that we have this kind of community-led standard that you have to lock the policies after a certain time frame. So most of the NFT collections are locked after, I don't know, 2 months or so, and then you cannot change anything in there, which is a problem for identity because identities need to be fluid. They are changing all the time. So we kind of want to give this option. So you could say, okay, I don't want to change it, so I put everything in the unnamed token. But if you say, I want to change it in the future, instead of referencing this IPFS file here, you just reference, you know, the identity token. And then the identity token can be in an unlocked policy and can be always changeable.
Then if I pass the KYC and got this token and maybe identity token, but then I can update them, what can stop me from put their not mine Twitter account, for example? Like
you need to, but you need a signature on it from one of the issuing website services, and they verify your Twitter account.
Okay,
so you would need to set up your own instance and then use your own signing key. But then after a certain period of time, no one will trust identities that were issued from this key from your service, if it's a compromised service in the end. So basically it's like all decentralized identity system, and there is this triangle of trust, and the verifier always need to trust the issuer. IAMX and the DID as a layer always they serve as an infrastructure, not as a trust anchor.
Right.
So can I explain you a little bit, Victor? Like perhaps it's not the NFT level, it's a little bit the other level that we have. You have a mobile phone contract, so you did a KYC. This KYC is sitting in your telecommunication carrier. He made the KYC, he has all the data, so he knows he's you. And this KYC is a token in your wallet. Then comes a question container. Perhaps it's coming from a car rental service. And if they have the question container, and we have in your wallet, we made the answer container. So if the answers you send, or you don't like to send any of these, you don't like to answer one of these questions, it can be that the commercial partner said, okay, if you don't like to tell me your real age, then you don't get the car. He will check where you did your KYC, and there's written Vodafone. And they know, okay, we can trust Vodafone because there's a timestamp, and the signing or the KYC company was Vodafone and was done 2 weeks ago. So every commercial partner will accept it because the level of trust is very high when you work with telecommunication companies, because they are forced by government to do a correct KYC. This we go down to a NFT level where we also think in the future that the KYC comes directly from Vodafone to Patrick to an NFT platform, and they trust it because it's Vodafone, it's the issuer of this KYC.
Yeah, that's clear. Right. I mean,
okay.
On the level of these identity tokens and linking the personal information somehow to the NFT, I need to think a bit, but yeah.
let's get to the hands, Adam.
Yeah, so I think I understand, but I think we're back, and I think you guys, Dennis, touched on it a little bit. We do have a little bit of a chicken and the egg scenario in that we need, just like SSL certificates, kind of like trusted root authorities, right? And so IAMX is kind of like positioning themselves as one of those, NMaker, maybe some other like popular known, because I need a way to prove that the signing key used in a DID actually came from Vodafone or from IAMX. So like, does this come with that those service providers need to be running an API or something to say, hey, here's the signing keys I might have used. Anything else is not actually signed by me, because I could put a DID together, put some signatures in there and say it came from NMaker, but how do I verify this is actually NMaker's real public key?
Yep, there needs to be an API, and there needs to be like that you got it exactly right, that I think we talked about this last time, that we have this issue of essentially it's like the KYC providers are the central authority over the KYC right now, and that's how KYC works, right? So and it's the same for the DID providers. They're also in a way the central authority. So what you can do if you want to be really secure in a way and really provide the most decentralization is use multiple DID providers. I think that will happen. It's not necessary for small stuff, but if you're, I don't know, Adidas and you want to launch a really high value NFT collection or something, you want to launch houses or so, then maybe it's not enough to rely only on one DID provider, and then you have like multiple and both of them have their own signing key. And then you have to have an automatic process, like some sort of API or whatever, to verify that they are really coming from there, and then you kind of got it.
Yeah, but for the start, it's like if you're minting on NFT Maker or an NMaker Studio, and you will be redirected to a white label solution with its own key to verify all your social media accounts, and then you're going to mint your NFT collection, then I think everybody is going to trust this DID because you did it on the same platform. And but later, when there's more marketplaces running the same solution, then I think if it's JPEG Store or CNFT tools or something like this that are offering this service, I think you will trust these services, but there will also be like totally unknown web pages that offer the service, because you can just use our GitHub, check it out, and run your own service to make it decentralized. And so, but basically the only value is added if someone is using a well-known name, a well-known company that is offering the service. That's solving the chicken and egg problem.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I've got some more comments, Patrick, but I'll save them for the SIP so we get some traction going there. And thank you, guys. I have to jump off. Sounds good. I'll watch the rest of the recording later. Have a good one.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, feel free, everyone, to comment on the SIP. I will actually post the pull request in here, because I would love to get as much traction there as possible. And also, my native language isn't English, so there might be a lot of spelling mistakes and stuff like that. Just correct everything. Thank you.
Yeah, and we just found a flaw, so we are going to update it soon. But yeah,
Esteban has a question, and he helped us with the SIP. He already have been a good sparring partner. So I'm really looking forward to get the question of Esteban also.
Yeah,
go
ahead.
I have seen a little bit of your draft that you shared initially, and that's nice. But I would like to know, because other people would like to comment on this, and people needs time to digest and understand what has been expressed in the proposal. So I was wondering what's going to be the mechanism to make comments. Is going to be directly here in the GitHub repository, like commenting directly on this, or do you have a forum for discussions? Or are you going to have like a working group to talk about this?
best case would be to just have either reach out directly to Dennis or Tim, or just comment on the CIP pull request, because that's kind of the normal process on Cardano for the CIPs. I'm not really using it that much, but maybe we should all be using it more because it's really good actually in a way. So yeah,
Okay.
please use the pull request. That would be best.
Okay, another question. What is the process of approval of a CIP? I'm not really familiar with that. How does it work? You propose,
Yeah,
you make the proposal and yeah.
It's actually, so this is the first CIP that we've written. So it was also a little bit new to me, and I kind of learned about that. But essentially, you propose it, and then you need to have two different CIP editors to put it into different statuses. So from draft to propose to active and so on. And one of these CIP editors is Sebastian, as we all know, and then there are a few others. So it basically lies in their hands in a way, but there are a few requirements that we need to have, and a few of those requirements are basically all these, like the structure that we're following. And because we are following it very closely, I do think that there are no real issues. And now we're just gonna have this little discussion in the comments for now and make the CIP better. And then we will have this first implementation, which is kind of the path of active here. And then after we have that, I hope that Sebastian and co can tell us what to do now, because I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, thanks.
Sweet. Chadi and Badrul, let's get your hands.
Chadi, do you go next?
Yeah, I'll just do it real quick. I'm coming from an NFT kind of creative point of view right now, and I'm thinking about it. I think that it is great because it kind of takes away us having to put the same metadata all the time. It's also good because we can, in a way, single sign on with all our, or verify all our credentials through social media, etc. I understand all of that. The one thing we were talking about, which was we can put the DID on a separate policy ID and keep that policy ID open and then edit as we go, etc. One thing I understand the reasoning for that, don't get me wrong. For example, one very easy reason, what if I was hacked and my social media was hacked? I can change it, I can create new social media, etc. I get it. But on the other hand, what if this DID was hacked? What if this DID was stolen? Someone can go in and change it too. So this is kind of where I am a little hesitant, and I kind of know what Argus are doing because we spoke to Giovanni not too long ago. And from a marketplace now, I'm thinking I have to sit down and debate which one is better for the marketplace.
But how to steal a DID?
Sorry?
How to steal a DID? It is written
exactly.
on IPFS. You can't steal it.
But if I can, if that DID is sitting on an open policy ID, I can edit it, right?
Yeah, but you need the keys for your policy ID. So your whole policy ID is compromised, not only the DID. All NFTs are compromised at that point.
Let's say, yes, I understand that. But let's say, for example, me, someone who doesn't mint their own stuff, I have to go through NFT Maker, Adam, whomever to mint for me. They keep, well, I know NFT Maker gives me my keys, but if you're going through some of the others, they keep the keys for themselves, with themselves, I should say. This is where I think we need to educate a little bit more on what the keys are for the, like I even had a certain big project come to me, well, not so big, but a project come to me and say, do you know this person because this person has my keys and we're kind of stuck. So imagine something like that happens with a DID, an open DID, or imagine there is a bad actor.
So basically, if you have the keys for the policy ID and the DID is inside it, you can update it, and it is in the same way you can mint new NFTs in the same collection.
Yes.
And sell more, you can update the DID. So basically there's no way around it. If you have the keys, yeah, it's gone. So
That's
but
also,
that's how blockchain works. Never hand out your keys to anybody.
Yeah, of course. I understand that.
it's also,
now
so you're
now
particularly
that-
concerned about the identity token, right? So about the changeable token.
Well,
Yeah, but then use
the
a fixed
changeable
one.
token, I should say, yes, the changeable token, even though I understand the reason for it, I get why we should be able to change it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
That's
so-
not what I'm debating. What I'm debating is there is still that chance that something can go wrong. If it's locked, it's locked. That's it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
And therefore you can choose between the locked one and the open one, and you need to manage your risk there. It's on the side of the NFT collection creator to
Yes, I agree.
spend a lot of time in thinking about it, because both systems have advantages and disadvantages, and
yes,
there's no real solution to it. It is just your decision.
there might, yes, I understand that there might not be a win solution for this. However, I also come from Patrick knows we've been in this scene from the start, and we made many mistakes at the beginning. So education is key. So standardization is key, of course, for you guys and for the marketplaces, but for us as creators, we really need to be educated very good on that, because at the beginning, nobody knew about, at least from the creator side, we didn't understand that the mentor can keep our keys. We didn't understand that the mentor can do this or that, etc. You know what I mean? So, like, I think from a creator point of view, we really need more education on this. And
so
I don't know how or where.
Basically, the website where you create your identity should be your place of education. So it should be very helpful and good described what will happen if you choose between a fixed token or an updatable one. That you understand the risks and that you really can make a good decision for yourself.
And for sure, you know, like always, choose your business partners wisely. I think the discussion is, you know, if I work with scammy people, yeah, it will get scammed. So if you said there are some marketplaces.
I don't, no offense, but I don't agree with you. Things happen. Some people get busy. Some people go and, you know, some things happen. People go to the hospital, people die. You know, like there are things that are out of your control. I understand that you should not go with scammy people. I agree with you on that. But from the experience I've seen on the scene, it's not always a bad actor that ends up doing something wrong. So
yeah. We're running, we got about 2 minutes left for the top of the hour. We want to get to the rest of the hands before we have to wrap up. So great, thank you, Chadi. Well, let's get to Badrul.
Yeah, I'm going to be quick because I've actually typed it out to type it into the SIP. And generally, you know, I agree with what Chadi said. I think with all these different scenarios, we just need to think through how it would play out. And there may not be a perfect answer to it, but as long as you've thought through all the different scenarios and documented how that should play out, and that's going to be the main thing. I've made my point on the unnamed token. I just feel like calling that something like collection metadata might make it a bit easier for people to understand. So that's a very minor point. And then talking about the scenarios, again, we've already mentioned this before, but I'll just give my take on it and then sort of sign off. But you know, the other scenario to safeguard against is a bad actor creating an NFT collection with their authentic details and their authentic social media profile, but then later going in and modifying their social media profile to somebody else's social media profile, like Paris Hilton or whatever. And then as a result, that, as we were just talking about earlier, that reduces a problem back down to how to verify either the DID or the policy ID itself in order to verify that it's this person. And that then brings the question, does that make the actual capturing of that metadata in this manner redundant if really you still have to verify the DID somehow to someone's public persona? And how is that better than the current method, which is somebody on their Twitter account or Facebook account, whatever it is, would publicly state their policy ID or public DID ID and being able to verify things that way. And the last comment is, does the solution require people like Twitter to agree to be a credential validator? If so, that would limit the adoption. And again, how is that better than Paris Hilton just publicly stating what their policy key is? But we don't need to discuss it. I'll just throw that all into the SIP feedback.
Please do. That would be great. Just one last thing here. It's about data points, right? It's about mass. If you just have the Twitter account and Paris Hilton have one Twitter account and she posts one tweet about the policy ID, then that's one data point. The Twitter account could get hacked, whatever. If she posts it on Twitter and on Facebook, you have 2 data points and you can verify those. But the complexity of verifying those gets exponentially more difficult, basically, because like you have to scroll down through each Twitter and Facebook account and so on. And it would be way easier if you go to cnft.io and you see, okay, Paris Hilton actually has the Twitter account, the Facebook account, and the Instagram account connected, and then you can click on them, and then you see, this is really her Twitter account, this is really her Instagram account, really her Facebook account. That's like a very low effort kind of thing.
Yeah, from the UX, the dream was to hover over a project and the data pops up. So verified, Twitter verified, Instagram verified, and you have additional KYC, full KYC, half KYC, whatever, what our partners like the secondary platforms, what they like to have, we can for sure customize this for everybody, perhaps some platforms likes to have the KYC and some like, no, we don't like to have that.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, guys. Last thought, Anthony, let's go.
Yeah, I was just sorry to, but I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what Chadi was saying. I think that there are, there are perspectives we need to consider, like different potential risks with this. There are lots of ways that like scammers can get around, different defenses and different tactics they can use. But I'd also just want to add, I don't think that like what we're working on with like AI detection of like copies, near copies, is necessarily like mutually exclusive with this. Where we see it is it's like just another tool. It's potentially actually a credential that could be like a verified credential that could be added to a DID. So it's just the more angles we could come at this problem, I think the better. And yeah, that's just my 2 cents. We just want to like be part of the solution essentially.
And we are in touch with Argus since a while. And in the beginning, the price, what they sought for an AI system was quite high. And the last call, they told me it's a little bit cheaper. What they told me in the beginning. But we are for sure super open to have Twitter and Argus AI. Also like for sure. It's not like that we like to. So if you have more ideas to make it even safer, let's put them all in. That is for sure the best solution. I think always that an artist, we have the artist. For us, it's the guy who created the Tail Troops Flying Fortress. He's there for 20 years, so he gets all these scams everywhere. They even scam graffitis from him. He is copied very often. You find T-shirts in Taiwan from him everywhere in the world, and this is. When someone asks us, hey, you have to verify your project, I say, no, this guy is here for 20 years. Why should you verify him? I can verify him. I know him since 20 years, but you never saw him. Yeah, like when we had to do it on JPEG Store, that was how we come up with why should someone, sorry, Blake, verify my friend and artist? That was how the problem comes up for us. And I'm not a techie, no, I'm not a dev. So I always watch it from how is it useful? How can I and my mom understand it to use it? And so I think Argus is a super nice solution. It has to be feed very well. You have to, in AI always lives from the data you put in, but we are more than open. I can just repeat it. If you have ideas, what we should put into the ring of trust, yeah, let's call it like this, like Twitter, please inform us, we put it in. We have like a list of this one in the IAMX side. Dennis, perhaps you can provide it that people in this group can just look over it, and then you see a little bit. It's not every function, but you can already verify you on Twitter. You can see how this workflow is, and then you can just have another point where you say, okay, let's do it. I like to have Argus in here, and then we do it.
Yeah, and it could be optional for creators who want it. And
Yes.
obviously the fee, we try to make it reasonable to run a collection through Argus. We need to take more community feedback on that too. So.
I agree completely. It was a very good question, Anthony. And I think open source and the NFT market lives from doing something together. Yeah, we trade, and we should also help, from a collector's view, help each other to not get scammed and do the best of it. So really everything what comes in your mind, even if it's stupid in the first thing, perhaps if we think together about it, we can really use it. So I'm very happy to get your ideas.
Awesome.
I just put the site in the chat. It is not functional right now because I disabled some buttons, but you get the idea.
Thank you, Dennis. Awesome. Any last thoughts, Dennis?
And don't share the link, please, now. Yeah, people will grill us because it's not ready.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I had one last question. So we were talking about bad actors, and I was thinking, so this information, whether you link it on IPFS or you create a new token, is going to be public, right? So in one form or another. What's stopping someone from taking that public DUID or link to DUID and minting a new collection, linking to the same DUID? It's
you need to sign it.
Probably not going to last for long, but still, maybe it takes a day or two before it gets caught. Or
yeah, but you need to sign it. So without the key, you can't sign your token or your payload, and therefore, it's an automated process.
It's already signed for the genuine collection. I was thinking, what if someone creates a copy of a collection or an entirely different collection and pretends to be someone else who already has a signed collection?
Inside the payload, there is a unique reference to the collection, and that could be the policy ID, for example. And then the key is signing this unique identifier for the collection, the policy ID, and then it's putting the signature right below, so you can verify. And if the collection and if that is what do you call it in English? I forgot the word, but either way, if it doesn't fit with the public key, then you can basically tell, okay, this is not the correct collection. So it's not like, if you have automatic systems that do that and automatically try to verify that, then it's very easy to see if something has changed. If you do it as a human person, if you just look at the DID, of course
that's not possible.
Any idea. Yeah.
So basically, it would still be limited to a particular collection. I mean, the DID, or to a group of collections that you would need to update each time as an artist you release a new collection. Okay.
Yes. It could also be, it could also be linked in theory to your wallet. If you always mint with the same wallet, you can link it to that wallet. And then you say, okay, every single collection that is minted through this wallet comes really from, cash or something. Yeah, because you shook your head like that, so I had to call you out.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. This was a awesome call. We'll meet back here 2 weeks from now, same time. Look for a calendar invite, and we'll see you then. Thank you for coming.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.